Good morning, everyone. This week I'm going to share with you 3 things that you must do after every conference. Welcome along to FBP Live. You've tuned into 5 Minutes of Fitbizpiration, where every single week I share with you bite-sized business tips in around 5 minutes. Nikki, good morning, all the way from New Zealand. It was so good to see you on the weekend at FitX. So guys, for anyone that has actually tuned into the show before, or anyone that knows me, you know that professional development and constant learning is something that I am really, really passionate about. And just like many of you, I absolutely love attending conferences right throughout the year. And I actually have a really simple method for remembering and learning the things that you learn at a conference. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Who else have I got online? Kelly, good morning, all the way from the USA. Jono, good morning. Congratulations on speaking at FitX on the weekend. Eugene, good morning. Great to see you all here this morning. So we are a really quick episode for you guys this morning. So here's the thing. Every single time people come along to my session, I have a very, very simple rule, and it looks like this. You write down all of the things that you learn during the session. Jot them down on a piece of paper, on your iPad, your phone, doesn't matter where it is. But the important thing is this. In the last 60 seconds of that session, take the time to either highlight, circle, or underline just 3 things. The 3 things that are most important to you in your business at that point in time. Just 3 things. You can come back to the others later, but we want to identify 3 things. Now, this whole process revolves around the number 3. So let's go through it. So the first thing we're doing is we attend a conference, we sit down, we write those notes, and at the very end, we highlight 3 things. That's number 1. Number 2, if you haven't already got the speaker's contact details, their email or their social media details, go up to the speaker at the end of the session and ask for their email address, because here's what you're going to do. Within 24 hours of doing that session, I want you to email the speaker and tell them those 3 things that were most important to you, the 3 things that are most relevant to your business right now. Email the speaker of the session and let them know. That's going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to mean so much to the speaker that you actually took the time to reach out to them. It's also going to help them understand what the most relevant parts of their session was. And number 2, it forces you to write those 3 things down once again, which is the second time that you've written them down. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is this. Email or call out to your colleagues and your team and organize a meeting with them within 3 days of doing that session. Now, during that meeting, you know what you're going to do. You're going to teach them those 3 things that you learned, those 3 things that were most important. You're going to relay those messages to them. You're going to write them down either on an email, a whiteboard, on your laptop. It doesn't matter where it is, but that is the 3rd time that you're writing them down. And most importantly, as a team, as a group, or even with a buddy, if you're only a small business owner, you're going to then work out exactly how you're going to utilize and how you're going to implement those actions into your business. Pretty simple stuff, right? But it's so easy to get overwhelmed with the amount of information that we receive at a conference. So I really encourage you to try this really simple 3-step method. So number 1, once again, is during the session, write down all your notes, but highlight just 3 things, just 3. Number 2, email the speaker, let them know what those 3 things were that were most relevant for you. And number 3, call your team together for a meeting and let them know what those 3 things were, and then together plan on how you're going to use them and implement them into your business. What do you reckon? Pretty simple, but hopefully really effective. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now you can use, Nathan, good morning. You can use that 3-step method for any type of learning. Use it in a book that you've written. Reach out to the author. Use it when you're reading a blog, when you're listening to a podcast. Let the podcast host know what you took away from that episode, because I promise you, you repeat those things time and time again, it's going to solidify the message in your mind, and it's really going to help you implement those actions into your business. That's it, guys. How did I go for time? I'm under 5 minutes. That's got to be a record. So for everyone that I met over the weekend, How phenomenal was FitX? It was one of my absolute highlights of the year. It was amazing seeing all of the New Zealand fitness industry come together for an incredible conference. We had Business Summit all day on the Friday. The conference went throughout the weekend. FitX Awards, the Exercise New Zealand Awards were absolutely incredible. So a huge shout out to all of the nominees and the winners from the night and everyone that attended. Thank you for making it such a fantastic night. Now, guys, the only thing I want to finish off on today is something really important, and that is today's episode of the show. So for all of my owners and managers out there, we have done an episode today with Lauren Fundos. She is the CEO of Forte, which is a business that specializes in live streaming classes. Now, this is incredible technology. She gives us complete step-by-step insight into exactly how it works, how the cameras are mounted in studios, how you stream out to your members, how much it costs to get set up. Everything that you have ever wanted to know about live streaming your classes is in today's episode. So that's episode 202 of the Fitness Business Podcast. Make sure you jump over to iTunes and check that out. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope those 3 quick ways of remembering and retaining and using conference information was relevant for you, and I hope it was useful for you. Don't forget, if you think today's information would be useful for someone in your team, or for all the managers out there that are sending their teammates to conferences, pass on the episode, tag them in the comments below so that they can use this method as well to make sure that they make the most out of their conference. That is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for 5 minutes of Fitbizpiration. Have a fantastic week. Sydney siders, stay dry, and I will see you guys same time, same place next week.